Welcome to the Over 40 Alpha Podcast with your host, Funk Roberts.
What's going on, my brother? Welcome back to the Over 40 Alpha Podcast. This is episode 184. I'm your host, Funk Roberts, and today we're going to talk about something that might sound a little simple, maybe even soft, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's one of the most powerful tools that I've ever used to rebuild my life, to rebuild my mindset, to rebuild my health, my business, and that's gratitude. And yes, I said it, gratitude. Not the fake positive stuff, not pretending that everything around you is perfect. I mean real wholesome gratitude that pulls you out of the stress mode, the kind that rewires how you look at life, the kind that changes how you show up every single day as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a leader. And yeah, even how your body functions when it comes to sleep, even how your body functions when it comes to recovery and your hormones. Because after the age of 40, 50, and 60, your nervous system is either going to work with you or against you. And gratitude is one of the fastest ways to get it working for you. Listen, brother, I've been practicing gratitude for well over a decade before it was even remotely something that a lot of people talk about, something that, is kind of mainstream, but shunned still from most men. And now I call it vitamin G. That's like my new thing. I heard someone say it on another podcast and I've kind of gravitated to it. It's vitamin G. And I can tell you straight up, 100%, it's a game changer for me, for how I show up, for who I am. So in this episode, I'm going to break down what gratitude really is, why it matters for you, the man over 40, 50, 60, and how to use it as a daily weapon to stay calm, to stay focused, and to stay powerful no matter what life throws at you. And I'm going to give you a step-by-step breakdown on how to get started. So if you're ready, let's dive in. All right. So as I mentioned before, I've been gratitude journaling for over 15 years. As I'm recording this right now, it is Thanksgiving in the U.S. I'm from Canada, so I don't celebrate Thanksgiving at this time. Well, before I dive in, I want to tell you a story because gratitude didn't start as some like mindset thing for me. It was more out of survival, right? Back before gratitude was in my life, like every single day, I do my gratitude journal. Back before that, I'm going to think back to probably when I was probably just turning 40, where, I was grinding, right? I was grinding, I was pushing, I was always on, but I wasn't really present because it felt like during that time, my life, like I felt like I was carrying a weighted vest all the time, right? Like every single day, a weighted vest on my brain because I was waking up, I was always stressed. I was scanning for problems. Okay, what's going on? What's going to happen today? Blah, blah, blah. Opening up my computer, looking at my emails. And back then, there was no social media back then. So, but I was always thinking about everything about what could go wrong, right? What could go wrong? What wasn't done? What I needed to fix? My mind was always on that threat mode. And if you're a man over 40, 50, 60, you probably know what I'm talking about because our responsibilities start to stack up, right? They stack up in general for any person, but at the age of 40, 50, 60, they stack up. So for me, my responsibilities at that time, I remember I was actually training Muay Thai for a fight, I think around that time, or at least starting to train Muay Thai, right? So, the responsibility of showing up every day, showing up with my family. I was getting my kids every 2 weeks, I think at that time too. So picking them up and, doing the father thing. And then of course, responsibilities for money. And then I was just starting the Funk Roberts Fitness, getting it off the ground. So there was that responsibility, but I was still working 9 to 5. I think it's still at Workopolis. My health had taken a turn. Remember, you probably don't remember that, 39. My health was horrible. I was an addiction. I was drinking, I was partying. And so at this time, I remember this was kind of like the shift on the other side of my life. And then I had Angela just coming into my life. So new girlfriend, new wife at that time, and just time, like all of these things, if you're not careful, you start living like life is fighting for you to lose, right? Because now for me, it showed up as anxiety. It showed up as anger. Like I'm not an angry person at all. Like, if I look back at that time, it's been so long that I don't even remember specifically, but I was wearing a mask. So, deep down inside, I was always angry. I was feeling numb. I was feeling lost. I was feeling like I was never enough, right? Those were the addiction years, all of those things that were happening. But I'm not an angry person, right? Like I did have anger issues when I was younger, but I'm like the nicest guy on the planet. Like, and even in Thailand, like Kelly would say, like, this guy's always got a smile on his face. Like no matter what, every day he comes out, he's always smiling. Like that's just me. If you know me, that's pretty much me. I'm like the positive person in the room, trying to look for the positive in everybody. But back then I wasn't. I was just bitter and angry. And when you live life like that for too long, in your 20s and 30s you may be able to get away with it, but when you're in your 40s, 50s and 60s, man, it's going to break. Like our body is not wired for that, right? And so for me, it wasn't some like magical moment or movie that that really hit me. I realized that I couldn't keep living in that mental state. Like I just couldn't. Like there was just nothing. Everything was paying the price. My health was paying the price. My relationships were paying the price. My happiness was paying the price. Everything was paying the price. And then something happened. It was I got an email from Craig Ballantyne. Craig Ballantyne was in that at that time, still is, but at that time was one of the leading online fitness experts, online fitness businesses, in the online space, millions and millions of dollars. Like it's so many programs and products, and it was one of the people that I looked up to in the industry. And he came out with something called the Perfect Day Formula, and I remember this because it was actually like a whole set, right? It was like you purchased it, it came the book, there was like a workbook, and this for me was like, okay, I got this business I'm trying to start. Craig at the time is a leader in fitness business, making millions and then starting to help fitness entrepreneurs do the same thing with this 5 pillar of success system, right? There's this daily success, how to win the day. That's really what it is. How do you win your day? And this formula started out as like one of the key things is the secret to winning your mornings. And in the secret to winning your mornings, one of the things that you would do was do your gratitude, right? I think it was 3 or 4 things. I don't even know if I still have this book. I know I may have given it to somebody, but that was key, right? And I'll be honest, at first I thought, okay, well, you know what? Listen, this guy knows everything. Like here's the other thing too, that gratitude. And at that point in my life, what the decision I made was, listen, if somebody knows or has already done it and the proof is in the pudding, I am not even going to sway an inch away from that person. I'm going to surrender to the system that they have created, and I'm going to follow the exact system. I'm not going to do it Funk's way. I'm not going to, kind of fit it into my own day or my own life. I'm going to implement my life into a system that works. And I'm telling you right now, 100% of the time when I do that, it works 100% of the time. 100% of the time, if I implement a system from somebody that has proved that it's proven to work for that somebody and other people using that system, I don't even question. I just do it. I do it, and I do it for 90 days. Usually my sweet spot is 90 days. I don't question. This is what I do. And that's been the when I've been successful in life on any area of my life, it's when and I've asked for help or looked for a system in place. Every time the success comes from building out and following that exact system. And the days when things didn't go right or didn't go well is when I put my own funk little spin on it, which never works because it's not my system. It's someone else's. So I took it and I said, okay, I'm going to do this. And I honestly didn't, I didn't really grow. I don't know about you. In our era, we didn't really grow up with gratitude, right? Like as a man tool or gratitude gratitude was something we did at Thanksgiving, right? Like Thanksgiving, we sit around the table. What are you thankful for? What are you thankful for? That's it. So with the system, I started small. I write down, I think it was 3 things every day that I was grateful for. Some days it was big stuff. Some days it was just breathing. Some days it was just repeating the same thing. But slowly everything shifted in my life. I remember over months, it was like almost like a month and a half later, dude, I'm telling you, everything started to change. My mind rewired. I wasn't ignoring problems, but I was solving them from a stronger mindset. Like I wasn't looking for negative. I was focusing on, here are the great things that are going on in my life. But now my mind is so focused that I can start to solve these issues, solve these problems, show up. I wasn't stuck in negative loops. I wasn't noticing what was, I was actually noticing what was good. I was noticing what was working. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I could apply some of these things that are working in my life, or some of these things that I'm grateful for, into solving the problems. Or maybe the problem isn't as big as it seems. Like, this problem isn't that big. Like, a lot of times we play the problems in our head, and we make these problems this massive mountain when it's really a molehill and can be squashed if we had a clear mindset. So I was solving problems from a stronger place. My stress levels dropped. I slept way better. I was calmer. I was more patient. I was more focused, and I was happier. And most importantly, I started showing up more as a leader, as the man, constantly, instead of a man constantly bracing for like that impact of what's going to happen, literally, just showing up positive, focused, closing deals. I remember I was closing so many deals. I think I just happened to get in the President's Club at that time, and in my 9 to 5, and then I left my 9 to 5 and I started my own company, and Spartan happened, and all of these great things, got married, fought in Thailand, like all of these incredible things are happening. And the mindset change of the gratitude journal was 100% the biggest lever that changed. That's why I call it vitamin G, because you got to have vitamin D3. You got to have vitamin magnesium. It's one of those daily things, right? To keep you functioning. Gratitude is one of those daily things to keep me functioning, no matter what. It didn't make me soft. It made me dangerous, literally dangerous. Like, I think I'm calm, focused, and in control. And I think specifically at the Thailand retreat, because I don't take gratitude for I don't for granted. Like, it's insanely important. Like, I gratitude journal all the time, and I'll show you a little bit later, or if you're listening. I mean, everywhere, there's not a day that I don't gratitude. And if there are days that I miss, I feel it. Right? I feel it. So, and this will 100% do for you. Like, not even a question. Not even a question. But let's dive in about let's get more to gratitude as opposed to my own story. But the change in my life, and continuously, like, there's always going to be insane things happening. There's always going to be and even now, even more important, it's that we need to have gratitude, because there's so much negative coming down social media and the media in general, and the divisiveness that's happening in our lives, trying to divide us instead of looking at our similarities and not our differences, makes life very, very difficult, specifically in this negative, devil-led world that we live in. We need to have something that brings us above. And this is where gratitude comes in, because gratitude in the dictionary means the feeling of being thankful and appreciating something you've received or experienced, and often a readiness to show that appreciation. You're ready to show the appreciation. So a lot of guys hear the word gratitude and they picture like, oh, I got to put on this fake smile, or I got to pretend everything's good. Dude, I ain't pretending everything's good. That's not what I'm talking about. Gratitude is not pretending life is perfect. It's not ignoring the hard stuff. Gratitude's not lying to yourself. Real gratitude training is keeping your mind noticed on what's working in your life, what's good in your life, while you fix what's not. Because in order to truly tackle and overcome what's not going well in your life, sometimes we have to pull from past experiences, past wins, past like things that we've overcome. And when you're so focused on negative, you don't even realize, oh, wait a minute. I've actually done this before in a different way, but I've done this before. I can pull some of my positive attributes, or, someone the other day was talking to me about this, and I really appreciate them taking the time to help me. Like you're not thinking about that stuff. I can take what they told me and apply it here. You don't really think about that stuff because the negativity of what needs to fix and what has to happen. Our brains are naturally wired to focus on danger, on problems, and on pain, right? Specifically now, again, with social media. There's more going on in the back end. If you're scrolling on your phones all the time, or you're watching regular, CBS, NBC, regular TV, or you're on YouTube and you end up going down like a dark hole because you liked a video of something negative that happened, and now every video that comes up is negative. Same thing with social media. Your brain starts to go into the danger, the problems, the pain, the world sucks, blah, blah, blah. You're listening to the news. And that's not true. That's not true. Those things are in there, but it's not overwhelming. And so what this is called in general, it's called negative bias. It's your brain's old survival software, because it scans for threats so that we can stay alive. Here's the problem. Just like everything in technology, the old software doesn't work, because in modern day life, the same survival that keeps men stuck in stress, right? Like the survival mode now is not the same threats that we were looking, we were trying to fight off, the animals and the threat of other tribes coming in and destroying our, we don't have those threats anymore, right? But the modern day stress that we put on ourselves, that our brain doesn't know the difference, you start waking up looking for what's wrong. You know how that is. You start assuming the worst. Everyone I talk to, they always assume the worst. You start feeling like nothing's enough. Oh, that's not enough. I gotta get more. And over time, that mindset starts to become your identity. Because now that's your identity. Your identity is negative Nick, negative Norman, negative Nancy. Like it's all over the place. I see it even in my family. Like if I go to a family function, I'm like positive Paul. We've got a couple of positive Pauls in my family. We're always happy. We're always positive. My cousin Ryan, shout out to cousin Ryan, right? Like always, we're cut from the same cloth. I guess that's probably why we're blood relatives. But there are some family members who are they're so negative, and it's like always looking, assuming the worst. Oh, this is crazy. The Toronto's the worst, and it's just like, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing? Because I'm not seeing anything that you're talking about right now. But that's only because that's what they're focused on. It's not their fault. Definitely not their fault. It's very easy now to get swallowed up by the negativity, but gratitude flips that. Not by denying, but by expanding. Because it forces your brain to say, wait a minute, what's good? What's actually good here? What's strong here? What's still working in my life? What am I grateful for? What am I thankful for in my life? And when you start consistently putting that down on paper, you consistently write that down, getting the reps in, right? I'm all about reps. As a former professional athlete, the only way to get better is reps, until it's just second nature. And so what happens is gratitude is the power. It's not the denial. So now you're still solving problems. You're still building. You're still handling your business as a man, but now you're doing it in a more grounded, strong, clear state. You're not clouded by negativity. You are very thankful and have gratitude for all the great things in your life. Everywhere you look, like it's almost like when you start using this gratitude journal, when you start journaling and doing gratitude journaling, it's almost like even when you walk outside, you notice the good things. You notice the flowers. You notice people like walking nice and tall. You notice goodness. You don't focus on the negative. And when you see something bad or negative, definitely. It's like, oh, what's going on over there, right? And then it gives you a little bit of time to process what's happening. But you're doing it in a way where you're grounded, where you're strong, where you're clear instead of a place of bitterness or being stressed or in survival. And I see it all the time, day after day, every single day. It's impulsiveness, right? Like when you ingest and implement vitamin G into your life, gratitude, it changes your state, it changes your decisions, it changes how you act, and it literally changes how you're not going to be as impulsive. You're going to wait for a second because that's the byproduct, right? But you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. So what do I mean by putting in the work? Well, let's dive into the science behind why showing up every morning or night and writing the things down in your life that you are thankful for. That's what it really is. What are you thankful for? What am I writing down in my book every day? This is the gratitude journal I'm using right now because that's what I used in Thailand. And you can see my gratitude journal. This is the Thailand journal. So a lot of this stuff was written while I was in Thailand. But, this book here, I'm just showing, for those who are listening, I'm just showing my gratitude journals. Like this book is filled. This is a massive book filled. And you can see like every day there's like 50 things. There's 40 things. There's 59 things on this page. What am I grateful for? And a lot of things are the same, right? A lot of things are going to be the same because remember I talked about it being this thing that you're doing here is reps, right? So you're repeating the same things for sure because that's what you're thankful for, right? You're not. So every day it's like the same things, but then obviously there's added things as well, and I'll talk about when those come up. But yeah, this is another gratitude journal here, right? I'm grateful for. I've got so many of these around, and it started with the simple 3 that you write down at the very beginning. But like I mentioned before, there's science behind this. There's proof in the pudding. Let's talk about brain and mindset benefits because for me and in my programming, over40alpha.com, go to over40alpha.com, in my brotherhood, one of the pillars of my program, I have 6 pillars for men over 40. I have 6 pillars, main pillars of my program. One is recovery. And in that pillar, it's broken down into physical recovery and mental recovery. You can also put this in the mindset section, but that's a little bit different. That's more about an identity thing. But the mindset recovery piece to keep our stress levels, right? We have to battle cortisol. We have to battle stress. We have to manage stress. That is one of the things that kills us, right? It affects our heart. It affects our overall health. It affects our mental health. So we've got to be able to combat that. Increase our cortisol, what kills our testosterone levels. So we need to combat that. And the ways to combat that is breath work, meditation, but the number one thing is gratitude. So those are kind of the 3 tools that you implement on a daily basis that will allow you to decrease the anxiety, decrease the stress, manage the stress throughout the day, because there's going to be stress and we need it, but we need to be able to manage it. We carry too much. And so the science, brain, the mindset piece of it, there's multiple randomized trials, multiple meta-analysis that show that gratitude practices increase your mood, increases the positive mood, increases life satisfaction, and overall well-being. So in other words, men who practice gratitude consistently feel better, consistently think clearer, handle life with more resilience. Just think about this. Being able to think about how you feel, over the last few weeks. Specifically now, I'm recording this November 26, 2025. The sun's not coming out as much. This is the time where people start to slide into a lot of anxiety and stress and depression and the feeling of not just feeling right, not feeling good, not getting enough vitamin D3 in. This is the time. This is when it starts to happen right now. And you don't feel good. And that affects the way you think. And that affects the way you handle life every day, how you handle relationships, how you handle people. Imagine stopping that. Imagine interrupting the rumination, the mental loop where you just replay problems, you replay regrets, worst case scenarios. You haven't been training all year. You started the year off 2026 2025 with a bang. Man, I started the year off great. And then throughout the year, you stopped working out, you stopped eating healthy, you stopped doing the things that were giving you the results. And now it's November, and now the regret train starts to happen. You jump on the regret. Oh, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do this? Now I got this. Now I'm not feeling good. Now my belly's even bigger. Man, and I put in the work at the beginning of the year. Why did I? Like all of those things. But imagine not having to deal with that. Imagine waking up feeling good, feeling calm, making good decisions, jumping back on the health train. Waking up calm, cool, relaxed, knowing that you have all the tools to handle anything that life brings you. Because when you shift your attention to what you appreciate, your brain literally stops feeding that loop. You look at people differently, people in your family, people around you, the things that you have. You take care of things more, better, the more you appreciate it. There's plenty of things, I'm sure, in your life that you're thankful for. And the things that you are consciously thankful for and appreciate are the things you like take care of. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, I really love this thing. I had to take care of it. I gotta wash it. Specifically, if you brought a new car or a motorcycle or whatever, you're in there, you're washing it, you're taking care of it. You're like, man, I spent so much money on this. I really appreciate it. Like, do that same energy that you're putting into that thing, into the energy of all the other things that you appreciate in life. And it just opens up the energy that you have becomes just much more of a powerful tool for you to use in overall life, right? Because what also happens when you stay in this negative, because that's really what gratitude is going to do. It's going to change your mental, the way you see things from negative to positive, right? Not thwarting the bad stuff or things that you have to take care of, or the problems or the challenges, but the way you look at those challenges, the way you handle those challenges, and the way you wake up every day. And what happens is when we do this, stress isn't just mental, right? Like stress isn't just a mental thing. It's a massive mental thing. And then it becomes physical. So now when you have more gratitude in your life, it's linked to better sleep quality. It's linked to lower perceived stress. It's linked to improved mood. Because a lot of times that stress is perceived stress that's not really that stressful, or it's not really that problematic, or it's not really that challenging. You've just built it up even more. Like it's just continuously building it up in your head, or you continuously are like on social media. And again, remember, when you click on one thing, just one thing, that's it. It only takes one like. It only takes one comment, and your whole algorithm, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on TikTok, when you're on YouTube, I don't see the shit you guys are watching. I don't see that. There's people who are like, hey, did you see the thing that came down? Dude, I don't know. I have no clue what you're talking about. Oh, you didn't see this guy? He's all over Instagram. Oh, he's all over Facebook. He's all over YouTube. No, I have no clue who you're talking about, because I don't look at that. I look at other things. And you would have no clue what I look at. If I said to you, oh, you see Dr. Charles Stanley, you know who he is? No, of course you don't know, because you don't watch Dr. Charles Stanley. You don't watch the things that I watch. You don't do the things that I do. So my algorithm is going to be different from your algorithm. If I go to a website and all of a sudden the ads start coming in from the website, I'm like, oh yeah, it's because I actually just went to that website and they serve me an ad right away. But most people aren't aware of this. And so your perceived stress is due to getting fed the same type of information. And if that perceived stress or that information was that something negative, one little negative thing. Oh, there was a crack in the, Africa is splitting in Somalia. Last night, for some insane reason, I clicked on a YouTube video that said Africa is splitting. And it went through how in Somalia, the ground is splitting, right? In one region of Somalia, the ground is splitting due to the volcanoes and the tectonic plates underneath and all of this stuff, right? So I watched it. I watched half of it. And so now probably when I go down to YouTube, I'm going to get fed all kinds of like geographical things that are happening but are negative. Or I mean, I don't know, I guess I don't know if that's negative or positive, but probably negative because people live there and they're going to get split away from their country. But those are the probably videos. If I go downstairs, probably, and I put on YouTube on my TV, probably those are going to be some things that will come up because I touched that. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to think, because I'm going to keep watching them, that the whole world is getting destroyed. When in truth, it's not. But that's what I'm getting fed. So the perceived stress. Gratitude is associated with lowering your perceived stress, with improving your mood, with better quality, because I know that that's not real. Like, it's real that's happening, but I also know that the algorithm is pushing that information, so I don't have to click on and think, oh my God, this is happening all over the world. Because I'm thinking more with a clear mind. And when it comes to your body and health benefits, gratitude has also been shown specifically through heart.com to help. It's associated with a healthier heart outcomes, better cardiovascular markers, because it helps us to regulate our nervous system and it helps us to reduce chronic stress, right? Because heart disease is one of the biggest killers for men over 40 in North America. And it's I think personally, well, it's a lot of things. It's being unhealthy, but chronic stress is huge. Chronic stress is huge. And then of course the cortisol angle, right? Like cortisol is a stress hormone. We need it throughout the day, but when we're consistently in the chronic stress, it kills our energy, it kills our testosterone, it increases belly fat, it decreases our motivation, it is destroying us hormonally and physically and our health. So gratitude lowers your stress and it will improve your sleep, because you're going to learn not to be going to bed thinking about the negativity. And when you wake up, when our cortisol levels are the highest, because that's when it is. Cortisol levels are the highest when we wake up, right? That gets us up out of bed. But our goal in the morning is to decrease our cortisol levels, right? We don't want it to stay high. And oftentimes when we get on our phone or we open up our emails or we got the kids running around or whatever it is, our cortisol levels stay high. The food that we eat, right? We drink coffee, that continues to keep our cortisol levels elevated. No. We got to bring it down. Cortisol got us up, but now we got to bring it down. How do we bring it down? Start with gratitude. Helps control cortisol. It helps bring it down. It helps us to focus on healthy, happy, thankful things in our lives. And we can start our day thinking more clear. Gratitude helps control your cortisol, sleep deeper, and show up with better habits. So let's talk about how we implement this. Because remember, gratitude isn't just about feeling good. You have to take action. This isn't just about, okay, so yeah, I'm just thankful for this and that. No, this is a practice, and you have to practice this consistently. You have to do this every single morning. Because when you start doing this, you stop relying on motivation and you start training from the identity piece. Because now instead of you being negative Nick, you're positive Paul. You're performance Paul. And because you're practicing being thankful for the things in your life. So you start changing your identity. You're grateful your body can move. So you start to use it. Right? Like when your brain, and I talked about this earlier just now about the appreciation of, like, if you bought a new car and how much work and time and effort and love you put into that car because you appreciate it. You're thankful. You're so gracious that whomever your higher power, God, gave you this incredible car. They were able to save up and get this car, the dream car. Now I'm going to treat it like gold. I'm going to only put the best gas. I'm going to change the oil every 3,000 miles, whatever you do. There's no motivation behind getting behind the wheel because you're so happy and so thankful. And that's the same, I'm telling you, that same energy is going to happen as you write out things. Because now your identity is going to change. And now let's say, for instance, when it comes to training, right? You're like, hey, I'm thankful. Like for me, I'm always thankful for the workout I did the day before. Because I do my gratitude journal in the morning. So when I do my gratitude in the morning, I'm thankful for present things, but I also look back at the day before. Like I'm thankful for the work. I'm thankful for meeting this one person at the gym. I'm thankful for blah, 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 blah. So when I'm writing my gratitude, it's what I'm grateful for during that day, but a lot of times it's the day before. So the workout, I'll always write, I'm so thankful for getting that workout done, man. It was tough, blah, blah, blah. Right? It's always in there. But now you start thinking about, I'm so grateful for my body that I can use it. You start to use it. You start to show up more. Your mindset isn't clouded by stress. You stay on track longer. One of the biggest issues I see inside my brotherhood program, and for no reason at all, is that guys will just go. They're just like, stop. Oh, I've been away for 3 months, 2 months, 1 month. Life, stress. It's all the same excuse. Life, stress. Work, stress. Life, work, stress. Like, which is no excuse. Because my program, you can do it anywhere, anytime, all the time. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life, right? Like your health over supersedes anything. Your health supersedes anything. And until you understand that, that's going to be the cycle of your life. It's not going to just all of a sudden switch, because life's going to life. You're living life on life's terms. So in order for you to ensure that your health gets implemented there, you're living life on life's terms, but your terms are non-negotiable. And one of those terms is your training, your nutrition. Like those are non-negotiables, even on life's terms. And when you are focused on gratitude and you're focused on your health, right, you don't get caught up in emotional eating as much. Again, there's a lot of levers and a lot of different reasons why people emotionally eat. But I find and I see that the guys who stress, life, work, whatever that change in their life or whatever they use as the excuse for stopping eating healthy and whatever else working out, it's usually because there's something stressful happening. The emotional eating happens. Gratitude is something where, of course, it's not going to magically remove cravings, but when you calm your nervous system, you're not eating to self-soothe. You're not eating out of emotion, right? Because your nervous system isn't cramped with all this stress. It's cramped with solutions. And when you know you have to make solutions, you have to be clear. And then also your relationships are going to be way better because you're going to be less reactive. Like I talk about this all the time with the driving, right? And I don't even think it's to my fault, but when I drive, I am the calmest, coolest, most collected driver. Like you could cut me off 10 times in a row and I would not give two shits. I ain't giving you my power at all. I could care less. You want to cut in front of me? Go for it, brother. Go for it. Let me slow down. Let me turn up this beat that I'm listening to. But anyway, I'm listening to some MF Doom right now. I'll turn MF Doom up. It prolongs where I have to go. I'm good. I'm not giving you my power. I'm not reacting. But oftentimes, you're too reactive, right? This is where I'm going with this. Is when you're in the stress mode and you're like, and now you're driving and someone cuts you off because they're cutting everybody off, not just you. Now you're taking it, this freaking person cut me off. And now you're all you're thinking about is that person and you're looking up and you're seeing how they're cutting everybody else off and you're pissed off and this and that. And now you're really pissed and it's sinking in your mind and you can't keep thinking about how this guy cut you off and the nerve of this guy cutting you off and how could he cut me off and doesn't he know I gotta be here and doesn't he know I'm late for work and doesn't he know I should have left earlier but I didn't. So now I'm late for work and now you're cutting me off. Oh, look at this person. Now this person's sitting here. Can you move your car? Move your car. Move your car. And then you get to work like, oh man, sorry I'm late, but this guy cut me off. He's such a this and that. And then you get on the phone with your wife. Man, you won't believe this. As I'm coming to work, this person's coming up like, you're literally giving your entire freaking day away to some person who could care less about you and probably cut off 30 other people. That's what I'm talking about. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? That's just me. No, that ain't you. That's how you choose to be. But that's only because your identity is driven in stress and chaos. And we want to alleviate that for you by making you less reactive. So now you start noticing the good in people instead of only what they're doing. You start looking for the good. You start looking for, that person's probably just, whatever, just go. You're probably in a hurry. You know what? You need to be in a hurry. You start leaving earlier so you don't get caught in those situations. Now, the other great thing about gratitude is it changes the relationships within your family, your marriage, your family, your friendships, how you lead your family. That's the most important thing. But a lot of times guys don't think about that. So that's why I pulled the car example. And as I mentioned before, the relationships, like specifically in Thailand, when he's like, I can't, he kept saying, man, Funk's always smiling. Every time I see, there's Funk smiling away, no matter what's going on. It's incredible. That's the way I am, no matter what. Like I'm running a 10-day retreat. There's so many different things that have to happen. I'm in Thailand. We haven't done it in years. So there's so many different things going on. I haven't gone to the pool. We had a pool workout. We went to the pool. The pool wasn't the right pool, so we had to come back and do it in the Coco Retreat pool, and everything worked out great. But throughout that whole time, I stayed positive. I stayed focused. I was like smiling the whole time. Oh, don't worry, we're gonna get it. Bring people back. And that kind of resonates with everybody else around you, because when you are positive, you start to gravitate towards positive people, and people feel that energy from you. Now you become a better leader, because one of the biggest things in leadership is the grateful man. The grateful man doesn't have to prove himself. I never have to prove myself because I'm stable. I'm grounded. I make decisions from clarity, not from my ego. I have no ego. I'm very humble. So when I'm making decisions, it's not from I need to prove myself. I don't have to prove myself to anybody. There's one person I prove myself to, and that's God, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, and the Holy Spirit. That's it. Everyone else in the world matters not. Not for me. Not for proving. Because when I focus on that, then everything else becomes, I'm making the decisions because these are the things that I need. This is the clarity. These are the things that need to happen. Not because I want, because it's going to make me look good. It's because this has to happen. So you become a better leader and just way better recovery. Your nervous system isn't always on red alert. Your body can't recover when you're always when your sleep suffers, when your inflammation is high, right? When you're feeling older than you are, when you're injured. Gratitude will shift you out of that fight or flight mode. Believe me. So let's get to the nitty gritty and how you do this. I'm going to break down 3 ways to do gratitude journal. 3 steps. Okay, nothing fancy, no fluff. This is it, man. It's super simple. It's just you gotta make the decision that this is what you're gonna do. So the very first thing is you're gonna get a book. You're gonna write it down on paper. You're not gonna write it in you're not. I don't care who tells you this. You're not gonna put it in your phone. You're not gonna keep it in your head. You're not gonna use an app. You are gonna use paper and pen. You're gonna put paper to pen, and you're gonna write down what you're grateful for. You can do this tomorrow morning. You're gonna write it down. I am grateful for, and then number 1, blah blah blah. Number 2, blah blah blah. Number 3. So for me, so and the reason why we're using pen to paper is because when you take something out of your brain, like right now, whenever you keep things in your mind, in your head, it's in the dark, right? What's happening when things are in the dark in your brain? Because what's already happening in your brain? You're stressed, right? Your brain's tricking you all the time. It's keeping you in that negative thought process. It's ruminating negativity all the time, the way you think, the way your actions are. So you're keeping things and your brain can only carry so many things. So you're keeping these things in your brain, but your brain's just blotting it out every single time, blotting it out. Very easy to keep it in the dark. And when you keep something in the dark, it continues to grow that negative energy. But when you put something on paper, you bring it to the light. See, this is lit up. You can't hide from this. I can't hide from any of this. You can hide from your thoughts some way, but you can't hide from what you put on this paper. You can read it, you can look at it, you can touch it, you can feel it, you can give it to somebody else, they can see it, they can read it. Something when you bring to the light either gets illuminated more or it dies. We want this to be illuminated. And so the only way to illuminate something is by writing it down, pen to paper. No app. Because the phone is the thing that's causing a lot of the stress. But paper to pen doesn't. So we're going to do paper to pen. And you're going to write down the things you're thankful for now. Every single day, you're going to repeat, and you're going to repeat, and you're going to repeat. People, places, things. That's what you're going to write. Your wife, your kids, put their name down. I'm thankful for, like for me, here's a sample day. Let me get one of these old school books here. Let's go back in time. Let's go back in time, baby. Dates. Oh, that was a date day. Thankful for God Almighty, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, the Holy Spirit, Angela, marriage, love. Thankful for date day. Thankful for Cassian, my mom and dad. Thankful for the cats, Fairtex and Yod. The gym. I put the gym in here. Thai lessons. Because I was taking Thai lessons. Thankful for my recovery. Thankful for the movie. We watched the movie. Thankful for the UFC. I put my buddy Brock's name in here. I'm thankful for my Aunt Shirley, who had passed away. Charlotte, Pat, family, cousins, aunts, uncles, aunts. So I have like the general. I'm thankful for specific people. Mike and Rick, Kadisha, Anthony, my team, Estella, like all the people on my team. I wrote all these people now. The Brotherhood, like Funk Supplements, like all of these things, Dex and Flex, so you start pulling out the things, the places, the people, house, Jeep, 52 strong. It's but at first, when I first did this, I was only doing 4 or 5 things. And that's cool. That's great. Maybe even 3. Sometimes it was hard to even get 1 or 2 at first. I remember it was difficult because again, you're not thinking in the sense of, should I even write this down? Because a lot of times you're like, well, it's obvious. It's not obvious. Okay? I'm thankful for my wife, Angela. Is that obvious? No, that's not obvious. Sometimes you're not thankful for your wife. Right? I don't know. Is it obvious? Write it down. Make it obvious. Make it obvious what you are thankful for by writing it down on paper. I write down everything that I'm thankful for. Some days I miss some things, but I catch it the next day. But there's the core 30 that I'm thankful for that show up every day. Then, it gets to 50. But it didn't start that way. So don't worry, even if it's 2 things. Because the more you do it, the more you start to open up your mind of what are the things that I'm thankful for. Okay, so that's the first one. Is just repeat. People, places, things. And then what's going to start to happen is you're going to start building in situations and events. So I always build in situations and events. Like the other day I went to the gym. I was shooting at the gym and I met this guy, Mario. He's 76 years old. We had a great conversation. I'm so thankful and grateful that I met him. It's a new person in my life. It was a positive conversation. I'm thankful for that. Right? Then I'm thankful there, there's times where I've helped people or I met people on the street or whatever. I write them in my gratitude journal. I'm thankful for this person I met. Everybody when I was in Thailand, literally my gratitude journals were 2 pages because I'm literally writing every single person that was on the Thailand retreat. It was 21 people. I wrote all their names down. So you start adding in situations, events, things that are happening that, may like for instance, let's say that you don't put your boss's name in your gratitude journal every day, but maybe some good thing happened the day before that you want to highlight. Oh man, I'm really thankful that my boss gave me today off. Dude, huge. Because the thing is, you start adding these little things, you start looking at situations, events, people, those things a lot different. I'm grateful for my team. So when I talk to my team, I talk to them in a way of being so thankful for all of the good things that they do for me. Even if they screw up once in a while, it doesn't matter because the amount of incredible things that these people have done for me in my life to keep this business going or to do whatever supersedes anything, mistake, because the mistake can be rectified and then we just don't do it again. So I'm positive for that. I'm thankful for these people. So now when we meet, I meet out of a place of gratitude. And then the final one, which I probably should be implementing right now, but I like just writing everything down, is but here's a story. When I was seeing a therapist years ago. I got to get back to seeing a therapist. I think it's really good. But I was seeing a therapist, and one of the things that during this time I was struggling. I was really struggling with mental health issues, depression. I was really struggling. And I was writing in my gratitude journal every day. I was writing every single day in my gratitude journal. And I was like, man, I don't know what's going on, why I'm depressed, why I'm in this state. Can't get out of it. And he asked me if if I have a gratitude journal. I think he knew about it. And I said, I'm writing in my gratitude journal every day. And he said, what do you write in there? And I'm like, I write pretty much the same thing every day. And he goes, okay, I want you to change it up for a second. I want you to only write 3 major things that you're grateful for, but on each one, I want you to ask yourself a question. With each one, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. So this is the bridge. Now I'm going to tell you about how to use gratitude on the 3rd way, the 3 steps, right? This is the 3rd way. This is the advanced way. Do not do this right off the bat. This is the advanced gratitude journalists out here who may feel like their gratitude journaling has come to a halt, has hit like me, it hit a plateau or something at that time. It just needed a little flavor. So the flavor is you spot the win. What are you grateful for? Not 10 things, 1 thing. And then you ask, what one thing that is going right today or in my life? What's that one big thing? So maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's your business. Maybe it's you didn't quit today. Maybe something like that, right? So that's the number 1. What one thing? Not 10, 1 thing. So write down 1 thing. Step number 2, why does this matter to you? And this is the key. You have to name the meaning. Why are you grateful for this? And this is where gratitude becomes emotional, not just logical. Because a lot of these things for me are logical. Like right now, when I write these in, I'm doing this method. I'm writing in, I'm writing in Cassian, but I'm also writing in why. Like I'm not writing it in, but in my I know because I've been doing this for so long that when I write these names down, I have to do this in order to put meaning behind it. But if you haven't done this, you have to write it down. So ask, why does this matter to me? This is where the gratitude really becomes emotional, not logical. I'm grateful, like let's say it was a workout, right? Because for me, the gratitude of being able to train at the level now that I'm training at, that's like a no-brainer here. That's why it's in my gratitude journal every day. I'm grateful I trained today. So the example could be, the one thing is I got my workout done today. That's a massive win. Why does that matter to you? I'm grateful I trained today because it proves I'm becoming the man I said I would be. It proves I'm staying consistent with what I said I would do, even if I didn't feel like doing it. There's meaning behind it. And then the 3rd step is, how would my day look if I acted from this? And now this turns gratitude into fuel. I'm grateful for my body. I'll treat it like a weapon today. I'll eat clean. I'll move. I'll sleep. In other words, why the workout and the meaning behind it, how is that going to help you move forward throughout your day? Right? Now that turns that gratitude into fuel. Like because of this, and because I'm grateful for my body, I'm going to continue to treat my body like a weapon, which means not just the workouts, but I'm going to eat clean. I'm going to continue to move. Now I'm going to add sleep to my getting 2 to 4 quality deep sleep hours, recovery, deep recovery sleep, restorative sleep every day. right? So now you're starting off with the win. You're putting meaning behind it. Why does it matter? And now you're aiming it forward. You're trying to continue to use that fuel to give you that identity. Oh, I'm so grateful for my body that I will work out when I don't feel like it. I get a workout, I didn't quit. And I'm going to treat it even more like a weapon because I'm going to eat clean, move better, and I'm now going to start focusing on my sleep. That's just one. It could be anything. It could be your business, it could be anything. Kids, whatever. But writing it down becomes the most important thing because it forces the attention on it. And it builds repeatable neural patterns in your brain. It's like almost like grooves in a record, right? Like the more reps, the deeper the groove. The more you do this, the deeper it gets instilled into your mind. And you don't have to overthink this because consistency beats it. You don't have to overthink what you're doing. Consistency will continually put you in the right place to get this done. Only takes 3 minutes, 5 minutes. That's it. It's not this big 20-minute thing. Just write down 3, 4, 5 things to start with. And start with 21 days, right? I'm not asking for a deep gratitude session. This is not what we're doing. We're just doing 3 to 5 minutes. What are you grateful for? All right. That's it. Now we've gone a lot longer than I wanted to. So I want to kind of wrap things up right now with the people who are probably saying a few things like, number one, all right, Funk, so you're telling me to do this gratitude journal. I'm going to give you a link. Okay. I'm going to give you a link to my 21-day gratitude journal, gratitude challenge. Okay. Go to over40supplements.com, I think /gratitude journals, go into the merch, go into journals or notebooks. I want you to grab the Alpha Mindset Gratitude Journal. Get that journal. Okay. It's gonna be what you use to start. Then when you get that journal, you're also gonna get the 21-day gratitude challenge, which you'll start right away, even without the journal. Don't worry, because you're not gonna just do this for 21 days. You're gonna do this forever, but the 21 days is the start. And the 21 days is me sending you emails, simply directing you exactly on what to write, right? Because sometimes you'll get all excited and then you'll sit and then you'll be like, am I doing this right? Am I not doing this right? So the 21-day gratitude challenge, every day it's okay, write about this, write something you're thankful for about this. And so it allows you and your brain to start thinking about what you're thankful for for specific things as opposed to trying to think of everything. And then you'll see, like anyone who's ever done this 21-day challenge, they love it because it gives them the habit and it allows them to easily get into this, right? Because this is something that you're going to do for the rest of your life, but you're not going to go from 0 to hero. That's why we're not doing 2-hour gratitude things. We're just starting small. But it's good to have somebody to teach you and guide you as you're doing, because a lot of times you're like, am I doing this right or wrong? So 100% go to over40supplements.com. There'll be a link in the notes or a link in the description or a link somewhere, or just go to over40supplements.com, go to the merch section, go to notebooks. You'll see the Alpha Mindset Gratitude Journal. Grab it because you will also get the 21-day gratitude challenge that goes along with it, because this will allow you to, and your brain for 21 days to shift automatically, because you're just going to commit for 21 days, not forever, not for a year, just 21 days. You're going to get the journal. You're going to start just with paper. And then when the journal comes, now you're going to have this journal, right? You don't have to overthink it. You can start today. One day, one entry, one rep at a time. You're going to get vitamin G in your life. And I guarantee you it's going to change the way your life is, a changed mind. So if you're the guy that says, Funk, this is great, this is awesome, but I'm not that kind of guy. I get it, man. I get it. Men have this shield. But if you're saying that you're not the guy, then you're exactly the kind of guy who needs this, because that means you're carrying the pressures of life. That means you've been carrying pressure for years. That means your brain is starving to flex in the other direction. Okay. So if you're saying I'm not that kind of guy, you're 100% you need to do this. If you're saying life's too hard to get grateful, that's why you got to practice, because gratitude is for when life is hard. Gratitude isn't for when life is easy. It's for when life is heavy. It's for all the time. But even now, like, life is insanely difficult and negative, and it's times a gazillion. It's on steroids right now. So you need it even more. You need it even more. You need to be grateful more. And then the other guy who's saying, this won't change anything. Yeah, but neither will staying bitter. Okay, bitter boy, hey, bitter. Hey, bitter Bob. At least gratitude gives your mind a fighting chance. At least it gives your mind a fighting chance to see solutions and strength again. Because this isn't about being some different personality, right? Your identity is going to change, but your personality can stay the same. It's about running a better software. Remember, that old school software isn't working anymore for 2025, specifically now. We got to change the software. Software is up here. Okay, software is up here. So let's wrap this up. If you take one thing from today's episode, let it be this. Gratitude is not a mood, it's discipline. It's training your brain to stop living in survival mode. Stop scanning for what's wrong. Stop locking in on what's the negativity, and actually start locking in on what's right, locking in on what's positive, locking in on the goodness, smell the roses, right? Type thing. And the crazy part is the more you practice it, I'm talking from experience, my experience, and people around me who lean into this, your whole life is going to shift. I'm telling you, like I guarantee you, if you commit 90 days, I'm only asking for 21, because 21, you're just getting it in. So don't think your life is going to completely change in 21 days. We just need to get the reps in so that the consistency starts. And then in 90 days, for sure, less stress, better sleep, more energy, better relationships, better decisions. You're going to become harder to break. I can break so many men right now. It is not even funny. Like, you're so easy to break. You're so easy to break. You're so easy to mentally break. You're so weak in the mind because your mind's not living in the reality. Your mind's in the gutter. Your mind's in the depth of grossness and negativity and stress that you're so easy to break. Literally. But you want to build a life. You want to actually build gratitude into your life, right? And if that's what you want to do, you're okay, Funk, listen, I'm gonna stop resisting, and I'm gonna lean into this. I'm gonna do the 21-day gratitude journal. And honestly, Funk, I'm not expecting my life to change, but I do want to see some improvements on how I think about things. That's where my 21-day gratitude challenge comes in. And it's free when you grab a book. I'm going to guide you every day, man. Simple prompts. It takes a few minutes. And dude, even if the gratitude took 10 minutes, it's worth it. So go grab my Alpha Mindset Gratitude Journal. Grab that journal. You're going to get 21-day free challenge. And you don't have to wait for the journal. Don't wait for the journal. I actually don't even give you time to wait for the journal because you're going to have to start right away. Go to over40supplements.com/ go to the merch. The link's going to be somewhere. Start today, man. I'm telling you, do it right now. If you're listening to this, if this hit home for you, if this is something that you're like, you know what, I do want to try something new, then do this, man. I'm telling you, it's going to make a change. Again, 21 days, we're going to get the habit in. And then we're going to do another 21 days or continue down the journey, and your life is going to change. The way you look at people, the way you act, the way you react. And just don't overthink this. Just do it. Just like I said before at the very beginning. Okay, like I said before at the very beginning, when I see something that's worked for somebody over and over again and other people, and they have a system, they have something that's like, oh, this is a system that works. I follow it to the T. Like, for instance, right now I'm back on I'm doing the carnivore diet, and this is something totally different here, but I'm just going to end with this. I'm doing the carnivore diet. When I first decided to do this carnivore diet, I said, okay, I have to do it for 90 days. Like, I didn't say I'm going to try it, because that's not I don't try things. You just do them. You don't try things, you do it. So I did it for 90 days, and the benefits are insane. That's a whole other thing. To the point where, like, when I was in Thailand, I couldn't really do the carnivore diet because there's not a lot of meat where we were, and that's all nothing. But now I'm back, right? So now I'm back. And I'm doing 100% because it's the 100% that worked. And I wanted to prove to myself that, okay, this is a system. This is what this person is saying the carnivore diet will do. This is the Dr. Sean Baker. These are the benefits. This is why I want to do it, because of the inflammation, because of my back, because of my gut. I wanted to clear my gut health, inflammation. And then also the leaning out, getting leaner, ripped, all that other stuff, which is a byproduct. But it's got to be 100%. There's no like injecting Funk's version or injecting kind of, sort of. It's 100% or nothing. Because if you don't do it 100%, it's not going to work. This is the same thing. Give me 21 days, 100%. Let's see how you feel. So with that, thank you so much for being part of this and giving the time. I'm thankful that you gave me your time, the hour plus of your time to listen to me talk about gratitude. I love you very much, man. I am so grateful that you follow me, that you listen to me or listen to what I say, whether you follow it or not. But I'm just, believe me, every single person listening to this right now, I'm thankful for you 100%, because I know that if I didn't have you listening, then I'd be talking to nobody, which I can do too. But anyways, if this hits home for you as well, share this episode to another guy, another man who you think needs it. Just share it. Just tell them, hey, listen to this. Don't have to set it up or anything. And if you are listening to this and you're not subscribed, wherever you're listening, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever it is, subscribe, because I'm bringing the heat in 2026, baby. Weekly heat. I'll try to keep them a little bit shorter. I know sometimes people don't like it long. But listen, man, the long form's coming back. And always live with strength, live with purpose, and get it done. I'll see you on the other side. Get it done.